Good evening, I am Nascar Man 101 and I will be showing you my livery collection from when I first started making NASCAR liveries on GT Sport all the way up to now. So I'm going to go to my profile, go to my gallery. I got a whole bunch of liveries I want to show for my collection. I've been making these probably since the game came out back in 2017. Oh crap, I accidentally went right out of my gallery. Now I gotta go all the way back down to the bottom. Now some of these are older versions. This is my original Ricky Rudd 2002 paint job that I first did. I'm gonna go and preview. I'm gonna show y'all Glenn's preview. You see, this is what I started with. I started working with all this at the beginning. This is what I had to work with. And then my next oldest one is my Jeff Gordon 1999 Rainbow Warrior. And I also updated this car as well. Gave it an update. You'll see that soon. Then we got one of my most famous liveries. This is my Dale Earnhardt 1998 Daytona 500 replica. I think this was the third version of this car, because I deleted versions 1 and 2 a long time ago. I believe this is version 3. And then we have cars that I didn't delete. We have this one, Wally Dallenbach, 1999. This is when he was driving for Hendrick Motorsports, driving the 25 Budweiser Chevrolet that Ken Schrader used to drive back in the early 90s. And then we have this one is going to go through an update. I might update the looks on this one. This is Michael Waltrip's 1999 season car, Phillips. I might update the car, fix the 7 number. I might have to fix the whole car and get it redone. There's some cars in here I would like to redo and make it better. This would be one of them. This is another older. This is version 1 of my Robbie Gordon 2003. This was Robbie Gordon's first season, or was it? Oh no, 2002 was Robbie Gordon's first season on the team for Richard Childress Racing, but this was the first version of it. And then we got Jerry Nandu 2001. I might do an update on that one. Might have to update it. And then we got Clint Boyer 2017. Another Ricky Rudd 2001. This one got an update. Dale Earnhardt 1999. I think Ricky Rudd also got an update. The 2001 Ricky Rudd. This one also got an updated version. Jeff Gordon 2009 Pepsi car that he drove at Talladega. And then we have Paul Montoya's 2008 Dodge Charger Javelin, Texaco Javelin. And then we got Clint Boyer 2007 Jack Daniels, the car that he flipped over at Daytona and crossed the start-finish line upside down. I like how this comments right here is upside down and on fire. One of the funniest parts about the comment section on that one. And we got Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 2004 winning car of the Daytona 500. I might update this one too. And we got Mike Skinner 1999. This one's going to go through an update because it needs a darker shade of blue. That needs some work. And then we got Michael Waltrip 2005. Steve Park 1999. This one's gonna go for an update. I don't like how the The DEI stripes on this does not look good. I'll have to update this one and redo it. And we got Kevin Harvick 2001. And we got Rusty Wallace 1999 driving for Penske Racing. John Andretti 1999. This one's up to date. The only thing I need to put is a Petty logo, which I'm not going to do that just yet. I'll probably update it when I have more things for it, like a Red Lobster logo. And we got Denny Hamlin 2006. This was his rookie season car. And we have Elliott Sadler's 1999 Sitco Ford for Wood Brothers. I believe this is when Elliott Sadler started driving for him. And we got Terry Labonte 1999. This is going to go through an update. I got a few things I need to update this car with. Overall, it's a pretty nice paint job. It took me a while to make this thing. We got Kevin Harvick 2004 RCR 35th anniversary. This is going to go through an update mostly because of the number. The number needs to be fixed. Mostly because the number doesn't have a black outline like it should. Then we got Jeremy Mayfield 1999. I might make his 2000 car as well. I might do that in the next video. And then we have Bill Elliott 1998. One of my favorite Bill Elliott liveries. I used to make the Ford logos really tiny on the front of the car, but now I changed that, as y'all have seen over the past couple of videos. My only Toyota-based car was this one. It was Joey Logano's 2011 Home Depot car. And I did it on a Lexus, but I stopped doing it instantly because I didn't like how it looked. That and the wing deploys in the back, and I didn't want to have cars do that, so I just couldn't do it anymore on these Lexuses, especially since look how weird looking it looks with the NASCAR paint job. It doesn't like match the car. Like, I wish Poly Digital or Gran Turismo would put a Toyota in here that's actually quite decent to work with, or put a street car version of the Supra in the game, like a street version of the new Supra, because I don't mind doing it on that since that's actually racing in NASCAR right now, or it's supposed to be this season. And then we got Jimmy Johnson 2011. One of my first Jimmy Johnson liveries. Someone asked me to do this for him, and I decided to do it, so there we go. And then we got Jay McMurray 2006 Aaron Tools. This was hard. It wasn't the paint job that was hard. The hard thing was getting the number to be chrome. This is Darrell Waltrip's 1992, I think it's 92, yeah, 1992 livery. And the hardest thing was getting the number to be chrome. One of the hardest things I had to do. You wouldn't believe how hard it was to get the number to be chrome. I had to get the number to be chrome on the side and on the roof. One of the hardest things I did. And we got Robbie Gordon 2007 Motorola. And we got one of my favorite paint schemes from 1999 is Jeff Burton's XI Batteries car. I had an original version of this, but I updated it. This thing might go through another update if there's more available decals for it. This is so far one of my favorite 1999 NASCAR liveries is this one. XI Batteries paint scheme. Then we got Dale Earnhardt Jr. 1998. This might go through an update. I might have to work on it a little bit. This is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 1998 Busch Series championship winning car. Yeah, this one's going to be worked on. And then we got Ward Burton 1999. This might go through work too. This one might get updated. But I don't think it has to, because it's right on point. And then we got Kurt Busch 2004 Sharpie car. One of his championship winning cars. Or, well, he didn't win the championship in this car exactly, but it was one of his cars from the glorious 2004 season. Then we have Sam Hornish Jr. 2008. This was the only other Dodge Charger I worked on, sadly. I've been thinking about going back and start doing Dodge replicas again on the Dodge Charger, but I've been thinking of not doing it because I just don't like the fact that the Dodge is faster than the other two cars I work with. I mean, I understand it's a Hellcat. I mean, it's supposed to go fast, but I've been trying to figure a way how to get it as equally fast as the Ford and Chevy cars I work with. We have another Sam Hornish Jr. 2013. This is when he was in the Nationwide Series for Penske Racing. And we have our first test car with Greg Biffle 2013 preseason Thunder car for Roush Fenway Racing. Then we got Paul Menard 2008 Menard Chevrolet for DEI. Then we have another Jeff Gordon 2000 Busch Series car, the Pepsi. I think this is the only car Jeff Gordon ever changed the font of his number on. This is the only car I know up to date that Jeff Gordon changed the font of the number. Then we got Ricky Craven 2004. Based off his Chevrolet. I might do his Pontiac, his 2003 Pontiac Tide car that won him the Darlington race. Then we got Dale Earnhardt Jr. 2001 Dover win. Now this doesn't have any wear or tear. This is just a paint job before the race. But this is the same car that he went to victory lane with. This might go through an update, considering I got some things for it now. And then we got Davey Allison 1993. This one, shocking, didn't get a lot of attention, especially since it was Davey Allison. And then we got Danica Patrick 2010 when she drove for Junior Motorsports. And then we got Danica Patrick 2012 with Stuart Haas. And we got a first movie car, Ricky Bobby Talladega Nights, the Me car. I cannot tell you how much I love making this car, especially since I actually watched the movie before I made this livery. And every time I was in this livery in a lobby, I would pretend to be Ricky Bobby. Start saying these catchphrases. I did that for a little bit, then I stopped doing it right after I started making new liveries. We got Alan Quickie, 1992 championship winning car. We got Ward Burton, 2007. State water heaters car for Morgan McClure Motorsport. I think this was Ward Burton's last season as a full-time driver. And we have Casey Kane, 2010, when he drove for Richard Petty Motorsports in the number 9 car when he sponsored Budweiser. Kyle Busch. This is one of his rookie cars. Kyle Busch 2005 Delphi Chevrolet. Then we got Richard Petty, 1992. Richard Petty's last season as a full driver before he fully retired from the sport. And we have Dale Earnhardt, 1999 Bristol race that he won. He only meant to rattle Terry Labonte's cage, but he just accidentally took him out. I actually watched that race as I was making this car, so it was pretty cool. And we got Dale Earnhardt Jr. 1996 Busch Series. I don't think a lot of people know much about this car, but I had a die cast of it and I decided to make it. This was one of his early cars that he had in the Busch Series. And we got Brad Keselowski 2008 Nationwide Series car. We got Jeff Burton, 1997. This is what won him the first ever race at Texas Motor Speedway. This classic XI batteries car. And we have David Reagan, 2015. David Reagan didn't do so much with Front Row Motorsports, considering they were like a struggling team, like mid-20s at best kind of team. But I've noticed that Front Row has been getting better over the last couple of years. They both the drivers finished 25th and 26th in the point standings. So they're getting better. They're at least getting a decent finish in the standings, but hopefully they can continue up with their progress. And then we got Jeff Gordon, 2000. This one's going to go through an update, but this is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 2013 paint scheme. I didn't like this one so much, especially since the colors were inverted. I preferred his 2012 where the white was the main center on the sides of the blue. But I can understand why Dale Earnhardt Jr. decided to switch it up a little bit. Then we have Kevin Harvick, 2002. 2002 wasn't Kevin Harvick's best season. He had a whole bunch of struggles during the season. Got in some big wrecks. Didn't get a lot of good breaks. And this was right after he had that glorious season of 2001 where he ended up 9th in the final point standings, only missing one race, and that was the Daytona 500. And then we got Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 2006 Intimidator Budweiser Chevrolet that he raced at Talladega. I think he only raced this car at Talladega, and that was it. And then we have Rusty Wallace's 1994 car, the Miller Green Draft. We got Ken Schrader, 1995. Then we got Derek Cope, 1990. Daytona. I think this is the car he won the Daytona 500 with. Then we got Jamie McMurray, 2017 throwback, which was a throwback, I believe, to I think this was a throwback to Donnie Allison. I could be wrong, but I know that number was in the footage where there was that fight at the Daytona 500 when they first televised it on TV. Then we have Elliott Sadler, 2010. This is the car that he got in that accident at Pocono with. I swear, that had to be one of the scariest accidents I saw in 2010 was that. You couldn't top that. You couldn't top how scary that was. The fact that Elliott Sadler, like he was trying to get out of the car, but he was in so much pain that it took him a while to get out. And the fact that he hit so hard the engine came out of that thing. And then again, Elliott did say it in an interview right after he came out of the healthcare center that he was only shooken up. So that's good news. That just shows how safe these cars are. Then we got Martin Truex Jr. 2006 Busch Series Intimidator car, which he actually won the Busch Series Talladega race in this car. I was going to do Paul Menard's Intimidator car, but unfortunately no one has made the Paul Menard 11 font in red and white. So unfortunately I was going to make the third one, but I couldn't do it. And we have Kenny Irwin Jr. 1999. This was Kenny Irwin Jr.'s last season with Robert Yates Racing after he was only at the team for 2 seasons and didn't do so well in either season. Especially considering in 1999 where Dale Jarrett ended up winning the championship driving for the same team that Kenny Irwin Jr. was driving for. Then we got Brad Keselowski 2015 Miller Lite car. No, this wasn't the last year's Sprint was the sponsor. That was 2016. Then we got Michael Waltrip 1998. I think this was his last season with Wood Brothers before he got kicked out and went to another team. And then we got Robbie Gordon's 2004 RCR 35th anniversary. This was supposed to be based off of Dale Earnhardt's Winston Select car, which was with Singular Wireless sponsorship. And we got Greg Biffle's 2016 throwback to Alan Kulwicki. I was going to put Thunderbird on the front since that's what it says on the actual car, but I didn't do it because I just couldn't find the right font. We got Jay McMurray's 2018 gear wrench car. I made this before the 2018 season started, but I did not update it a few couple months later while the season had already started because I was able to find some more stuff for it. Believe it or not, this was my first ever NASCAR livery, was this car right here. And the car didn't look very good when I first uploaded it, but now that I updated it a little bit, it looks a lot better. Then we got a classic Bill Elliott's 1988 championship winning car. His number 9 Coors Light, or just Coors beer car. Classic Elliott car. And then we got Ricky Rudd's 1984 Wrangler jeans car. I still remember watching that crash where he crashed and he flipped down pit road. And the next day he couldn't open his eyes, so he had to duct tape his eyelids up so he can see. And then he drove the 500 miles while having tape stuck up on his eyes so he can see. I tell you, that's a really determined guy right there, if you ask me. We got Regan Smith's 2011 car. This was the car that won him the Southern 500, the true underdog story for Furniture Row, and Regan Smith was able to hold off Carl Edwards to win the race. Unfortunately, I think this was the only time Regan Smith won a race in the Cup Series. Then we got Michael Waltrip's 2001 car. Unfortunately, I did not want to make this car at first. I didn't want to make this car at first, especially since this was the same car that he won the Daytona 500 race with when Dale Earnhardt suddenly passed away from a crash on the last lap. I kind of digressed making this car, but I had to, considering I was running out of ideas, and this one just kept coming up in my head, and I ended up doing it. And I was trying to avoid making this car, but I just had to. Then we got Dale Earnhardt's 2000 car. This is the same car he won his final race with at the 2000 Winston 500 at Talladega. Then we got Jeff Gordon's first ever car that he drove at the 1992 Atlanta race. This is his first car of being with Hendrick Motorsports. And then here's that updated 1999 Jeff Gordon car. As you can see, this one's got major improvements. Then we got Rick Mast 2000 car. This one was kind of tough considering that it was different colors on all different kind of sections and different shapes. But I managed to work it out. Then we got Morgan Shepherd's 1992 car that he drove for Wood Brothers Racing in Sitco. I think this was when Morgan Shepherd was decent. He was a decent driver back then in the 1990s. It was just, what still shocks me is that his age, he's still driving. He's still racing in the Xfinity series. He races maybe once, twice a year. Last time I remember seeing him race was the Daytona Xfinity program race. So, we could be seeing Shepherd racing again this year. I'm still shocked that he's racing at the age he is. And we got Kevin Harvick's 2001 Busch Series car. This won him the Busch Series title. And here's an updated Robbie Gordon car. You see, I did a lot better this time. Robbie Gordon's 2003 singular wireless car. And here's the updated version of Ricky Rudd's 2002 Havoline car. This one I did a lot better with. And then we got Ryan Sieg's 2017 Xfinity Darlington Throwback. This was a tribute to his late brother, Shane Sieg. And then here's an updated Jeff Gordon 2009 Pepsi Challenger. This was a tribute to Darrell Waltrip's Pepsi car from the early 80s. Or was it late 80s he drove that car? And then this was a request someone gave me. They said, hey, can you make a GR2 Davey Allison car for me? And I said, sure, I will. And this was the result. Now, I haven't done anything with GR2 cars since this request. But I didn't like making this car. Especially since the whole car itself is really confusing, and in fact it's on a Nissan. A Ford replica is on a Nissan, so it felt kind of weird making this, but I just had to. He asked for it, I gave it to him. And then we got Rowdy Burns Days of Thunder. This is another movie car that I made. This is a Days of Thunder car. And then we got Ty Dillon's 2017 Darlington Throwback. Tribute to Smokey Hewitt. I was going to do Casey Mears' version, but I didn't do it though. And then we got an updated 1999 Dale Earnhardt's Wrangler car. This is updated with some more decals, and I finally was able to get an outline for the 3 numbers, so that's good. And then we got Jamie McMurray's 2013 McDonald's paint scheme for Earnhardt Ganassi Racing. And then we have Austin Cindric's 2017 Fitzgerald number 19 Ford truck for Brad Keselowski Racing. And then we have Kurt Busch 2013 Furniture Row car for Furniture Row Racing. This is when Furniture Row kind of became a stable team, with Kurt Busch behind the wheel, a veteran of the sport, the 2004 Series champion. And we got Matt DiBenedetto's 2017 Ford EcoBoost for car for Go Fast Racing. Bless me. So And then we got Dale Jr.'s 2012 National Guard car. I like this car better than his 2013. I'd rather have seen the new SS car and have this paint job on it. I didn't like his 2013 car a lot. I still preferred his 2012 National Guard car, which looked a lot better. And we got Denny Hamlin's 2007 FedEx Express car for Joe Gibbs Racing. And we got a classic Mark Martin 1994 Mark Martin car for Roush Racing. This is when Mark Martin was a serious title contender back in the early 90s. And we got Scott Wimmer 2000. Scott Wimmer actually went on to lead a couple laps in this car. Or at least I think he led probably one, maybe two in this car. Then we got Paul Menard's 2018 Menards Ford for Wood Brothers. What's funny is someone put a comment saying too yellow. I thought that was funny. I might do Ryan Blaney's Menards car since it's basically the same thing as Paul Menard. So probably you'll see a video about that soon. And we got Paul Montoya's 2013 test bed from the preseason Thunder. And then we have Kurt Busch's 2014 test car. This was his first season with Stuart Haas. And then we have Mike Skinner's 2000 Lowe's car. This one I like way better than the 1989 version, which is why I'm going to update that car, because this one just looks so much better the second attempt I did on it. Then we got Ward Burton 2000, another 2000 season car with Ward Burton. And then we got Ricky Rudd 2000. This was when Ricky Rudd first took over the ride at the 2018 for Robert Yates. This one was also requested by somebody. He wanted me to make a Tony Stewart livery on a Dodge Charger for something that he normally does, and I did it for him. What's funny is if you ever look up my my gamer tag on Google search, you'll see a Reddit page with someone asking if they could make this same livery on a Dodge, and they mentioned me in the responses. So this is pretty much, I think that's how I got asked to make this car, because someone suggested that I do it for them. And we got Jeffrey Earnhardt's 2013 Nationwide Series car for Go Fast Racing. And then we got another classic Dale Earnhardt 1984 Wrangler Jeans car. What's funny is there's three versions of this car. There's three versions of his 1984 car. There's one where it's completely yellow. There's one that's like this. And then there's one with a different kind of... And then there was like a complete blue Wrangler car, I believe. I could be wrong. But I know there's more than one version of his 1984 Wrangler car. And we got another classic Dale Earnhardt 1990. This is when I think he was sponsored by Goodwrench earlier than this. But this was one of the first Goodwrench cars I've seen in my father's diecast collection. And we got Bill Elliott's 2010 car. I think this was Bill Elliott's final time of being a full-time driver for Wood Brothers. I mean, Bill Elliott, I give him credit for running another season in 2010. Especially since he's being a veteran. Then we got Cal Naughton Jr.'s Talladega Nights car. Another movie car I like. I honestly, if you ever get a chance, I might tell you something. I might tell y'all where there's a video. I was part of someone's stream one day, and me and him started racing each other in these movie cars we had. And he was using my Ricky Bobby car, and I was using my Cal Naughton Jr. car. I'm not gonna disclaim. I'm not gonna say who the YouTuber is because I don't want to get a because I have a feeling that's gonna be a copyright. So that I don't remember what the channel is called. I have to look it up later today. If y'all want to see that video of us racing each other in these cars. And then we got Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 2007 Busch Series on Johns Manville and Menards Chevrolet for DEI. And we got Matt Carter 2012 Nationwide Series. Not much to say. These are like really underfunded teams. We got Timmy Hills 2012, which was his teammate. Then we got another classic Alan Quickie 1990 ZRX Ford. And then we got Robbie Gordon's 2003 Inverse car, which the primary changed from black to now orange. I liked this car a lot. I actually have a die cast of it somewhere. I don't know where it is. And then we got Danica Patrick's final ride as a NASCAR driver in 2018, where she got in a crash that ended her last race as a NASCAR driver. We got Ernie Irvan, 1995, driving for Robert Yates Racing. Then we got Clint Boyer, 2018 Savi car for Stuart Haas. Now, it might just look like a plain orange, but if you look carefully, you'll see the design it has digital things within the paint job. And the hardest part was finding some digital points to put in as a background for the paint job. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of lines and stuff on it. Then we got Dale Earnhardt 1995 Winston Select car. And there's another Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson's 2000 Busch Series car. This was the same car where that scary crash at Watkins Glen happened, where he lost his brakes and went head on into the wall, which destroyed the wall. Like, some of the pieces of the wall went right through it and went out the other side. This isn't a NASCAR replica, but this is a 9/11 tribute for the fire department of New York. This was like a tribute to them for their bravery and for their sacrifice for trying to save civilians while the chaos was going on. And then we have Martin Truex Jr.'s 2006. I think this is his rookie car. Oh, no, it's not. 2005 was his rookie season, where the color was red and it was actually had like a camouflage stripe. We got Casey Kane's 2018 All-Star race car, which I like this car a lot, especially since it's throwing it back to I like how it's got the old Abraham 9 on the side along with the 5, just like he did with his 2018 throwback car for Darlington. Both of those paint schemes were nice. And then we have Dale Earnhardt. Oh, this was an updated Dale Earnhardt 2000 car. This was an updated version. And we have Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 1999 Budweiser car. That was one of his rookie season. And then we got Bubba Wallace's 2018 Darlington paint scheme, throwing it back to Richard Petty. And then we have the paint schemes that, well, except for one in here, that y'all see me do on YouTube, which I have videos of me making these. Starting off with this. This one was my first video on this channel. And this was Eric Amarola's 2016 Darlington throwback to Richard Petty. I think this was a throwback to the 80s Richard Petty car. And then we got Dale Earnhardt's 1998 Daytona 500. This is the newest version that I have. I'm just gonna preview this one because I'm gonna tell you what the difference. You see, I had to change a whole bunch of things. I made the sponsors bigger, the contingency sponsors. I also fixed the front a little bit. I also changed what it said on the quarter panel. Instead of having Coca-Cola and Food City, I just put Food City. And then I was able to get the GM Goodwrench Quick Lube Plus and the GMGoodwrench.com underneath. Basically, those are the major changes. Any minor changes was the position of the number and stuff that I had to fix. And then we have Kevin Harvick's 2001 Rockingham paint scheme. This was when Kevin Harvick first started racing in NASCAR after the tragic death of Dale Earnhardt. And then you all see these next liveries are the ones that you've seen me do. Seen me make videos of me making them. We got Jimmy Johnson's 2016 Darlington. I heard that this is either a tribute to Junior Johnson or this is a tribute to Dale Earnhardt when he first ran his first Daytona 500. And then we got Rusty Wallace's 1999 Harley Davidson. The hardest part about making this car was finding the wings for the hood. I couldn't find an exact match, but I found something close. And then we got Dale Earnhardt's 1998 Coca-Cola car. This might go through an update if someone puts a decal for the Coca-Cola Racing family logo, so I can put that on the back of the car instead of Coca-Cola. And then we got Ricky Rudd's 2001 Dover car. This one's different from his regular car because it has an American flag on the hood. This was the car he ran right after the tragic events of 9/11. I might do more 2001 Dover cars, but it depends on what I have to work with, so you might see some more of these coming up. We got Kevin Harvick's 2018 car. Unfortunately, Kevin Harvick couldn't win the championship this year. I say if NASCAR never went to the chase format where it was 4 cars and whoever got the highest spot and it was all about points towards the end, I think Kevin Harvick would have won the title. I think it was either going to be Kevin Harvick or Kyle Busch that was going to win the championship. That's if it was the points format. But of course, since we're in the chase format, the underdog Joey Logano ended up stealing the championship. What are the odds of that? And we got Kurt Busch's 2018 car for Stewart-Haas's last season with them. And then we got Neil Bonnet's 1993 Moms and Pops Chevrolet that he drove in the Cup Series. And then we got Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 2005 car. This was one of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s worst seasons of his entire career. He did get one win at the at Chicagoland with a 2-tire stop, but unfortunately, this was one Earnhardt. This is the reason why Dale Earnhardt didn't do so well. Before the season began, the owner of DEI, Teresa Earnhardt, the wife of Dale Earnhardt, decided to switch the equipment between Dale Earnhardt and Michael Waltrip. So basically what she did was she gave the equipment that Dale Earnhardt Dale Jr. won 6 races with last season and gave it to Michael Waltrip. Gave her best equipment to Michael Waltrip. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. was left with nothing but whatever that 15 car had left. And that ended up blowing up in her face because this just did not go so well. I mean, I'll admit, Junior got a win, but he only got a win because he gambled. He would have probably won that championship if Teresa Earnhardt didn't switch the equipment. I'm pretty sure Dale Earnhardt Jr. would have had another great season if Teresa Earnhardt didn't switch his equipment. If Dale Jr. never broke up with Tony Era Jr. I'm pretty sure he would have done so much with him as a crew chief. Probably would have won a championship together. And the thing is, Dale Jr. today still regrets that decision when making the decision to cut the cord between him and Tony Erie. And then we got test cars with Casey Kane's 2018. These are all test cars. We got Jimmy Johnson's 2018 test car, Austin Dillon's test car, Jamie McMurray's test car, Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s test car, Brad Keselowski's test car, Ty Dillon's test car, and Kyle Larson's test car. And then we have Kyle Larson's 2018 Clover First data. The same, I might make a different version where it's the chase format version. The one where he limped the car across the start-finish line at Charlotte Roval to advance to the next round. And then we got our latest ones. We got Casey Kane's 2010 Valvoline Budweiser car. And then we got Cole Custer's 2018 Xfinity Playoffs win at Texas for the round of 8. This is what gave him the ticket straight to Homestead. Unfortunately, at Homestead, Cole Custer couldn't seal the deal and win the championship again, but hopefully Cole Custer can do it this time this year. I can see Cole Custer being a title threat this year, along with Christopher Bell. And then we got our two latest ones. We got Jeffrey Bodine's 1996 car that he drove for himself. I was originally going to make his 1998 season car, but I changed my mind and decided to do this one since it was much more easier. Just start off with the easier ones first and then try go for a challenging one later. And then this is my latest one. This is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 2007 Busch Series Sharpie Budweiser car. Yes, Dale Jr. was sponsored by Sharpie. Some people asked me if this was an actual car the other day when I was driving this around. They said, since when did Dale Jr. get sponsored by Sharpie? And I said, if you look this car up, you'll see plenty of photos of it. And I proved them right. Or I proved them wrong by showing them multiple photos of this car on the racetrack. This is one of Dale Jr.'s rare cars, I believe, when he was out in the Busch Series still driving around. He was driving for DEI still at this time. And with that, this is my whole collection of NASCAR liveries that I've made over since I started playing GT Sport. Thank y'all for watching this video on my livery collection. I'll probably make another livery in probably a few minutes or probably another couple hours, because I do have another idea I'm going to try to make, but I have to look up decals for it first. I'll catch y'all next time.